Hi random people on the internet, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about some makeup brands that have recently had controversy because of different things, because of price, because of diversity, whatever. And I'm just going to kind of go over that and give my take on it. So I'm obviously going to start with the Tarte Shape Tape Foundation shade range. Really sad, honestly. If you are a person of color, you were just basically completely left out of that whole foundation range. What had happened is Tarte Shape Tape was a concealer, a really good concealer. Everybody loved it, as far as I know. I don't think I saw one review where somebody didn't like it. It was just really full coverage and everybody loved it. So they made that into a foundation. Now, when they did that, they just released 15 shades, which 15 might seem like a lot, but it really isn't. So these are the 15 shades, and as you can see from this picture, about only 5 of them are for people of color. They did say that they're going to come out with some more shades and expand the range, which is great obviously, but right off the bat they just released some of the lightest colors, and their reasoning was because it is the winter time and people are generally lighter in the winter. First of all, if you are a person of color, you are not going to turn to Caucasian in the winter. That's just not how it works. Like, that's ridiculous. The fact that they said that as some sort of excuse or whatever is really ridiculous to me, honestly. Like, seriously, if you're a person of color, you don't turn into a white person in the winter. And second of all, it's not winter everywhere in the world right now. I don't think this would have had so much backlash if just like months before Fenty Beauty Rihanna's makeup line, they had foundation and they came out with I think 40 shades all at once, and there was a fair amount of foundations for people of color, and that kind of just changed the game, honestly. So basically what's going on is Rihanna is leading the way for people of color in the makeup industry because there is a lack of diversity in foundations and concealers and everything, and Rihanna just took that up to the next level. Now lots of brands are also taking it up to the next level so they can match that foundation range or concealer range, but Tarte did not. They only released 15 shades. They are going to expand it, but it's just not good enough. A lot of people have also said they are just abandoning Tarte, and I kind of agree with that. I don't have it obviously, but if you're going to make a foundation, make sure that everyone who wants it can get it. Like, it should not matter what race you are or anything. If you're a person of color or not, you should be able to have your foundation color and you shouldn't have to think twice about it. You'd be like, hey, let's go to Sephora, shade match me, and you should be able to be shade matched. It's just really ridiculous to me because everyone should be able to have the foundation color they desire. And it's just really ridiculous that that's not what's happening, especially in 2018. Like, it's really ridiculous to me. Okay, the next thing I'm going to talk about is not over diversity issues. Nothing else that I'm going to talk about is about diversity, but the next one is Kylie Cosmetics. So recently, this is quite a while ago, a few months ago, I can't remember. These are just things in recent memory for me that I wanted to talk about. So Kylie Cosmetics recently came out with a $360 makeup brush line for 16 brushes. So you get a set, they all come in a set with a little thing to hold them. I don't know what they're called. And so obviously everything at Kylie Cosmetics is overpriced because it's a name brand. She's Kylie Jenner. So obviously, yeah, you can see how it would be a little bit more expensive, but this is ridiculous. $360 for 16 brushes. So that averages about $22 a brush, which is so ridiculous. It's beyond me, actually. And the $360 is American, like US dollars. So if we were to convert that to Canadian dollars, it's $450 for 16 brushes, which would average about $28 per brush, which is ridiculous. Now, a lot of people said that these are just normal brushes, there's nothing special about them to make them high-end or anything like this, and it's just overpriced just because it's Kylie. So a lot of people said it was just really cheap for what you got. Packaging that it came in, the little, I don't know what you call it, this little thing, it was apparently just really, really crappy and cheap quality. And you're paying $360 for this, you need to get the best quality if that's even something. I don't think I've heard anyone say anything good about this, of course somebody's gonna like it somewhere. And then I'm pretty sure Kylie was trying to justify it or something, like, oh, high-end brushes retail for this much. Yeah, some high-end brushes are that expensive, but the quality of your brushes was not the quality of high-end brushes. So yeah, just kind of want to compare the Kylie Cosmetics brushes to some other brush sets, just so you can kind of see that $360 is ridiculous. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about Morphe brushes in comparison to Kylie Cosmetics brushes, because I heard a lot of people saying they were about the same quality, the Kylie Cosmetics brushes and then the Morphe brushes. Personally, I've never tried either brushes, so I'm really just going off of what other people have said. Ew, I'm gross. Okay, so at Morphe there is a set 501, that's what it's called. It's a 30 brush piece master set. So there's 30 brushes in the set, which is more than what Kylie had. Kylie had 16 brushes. Now these brushes, which I have heard are about the same quality as Kylie brushes, for 30 of them is $150, which is obviously quite the difference. Now if we break that down further, that averages to about the amount of $5 per brush, which is completely reasonable. If you're going to get 30 brushes and they're each $5, I think that is a fair price. What I have heard is the quality is about the same. Just letting you know. Okay, and the last thing I'm going to be talking about, the last backlash controversy thing, was the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette. Yes, this did happen a while ago, but I am still going to talk about it because it's one of the things I could remember. So this was a gorgeous palette. I wanted it a lot. There was a lot of controversy around it because everybody loved it when it came out, and then when they started receiving it through the mail, or when they bought it, or when they swatched it in stores, people just weren't having it. They were saying, you know, there was too much fallout, it was hard to blend, it turned patchy and muddy and all that stuff, which an Anastasia palette isn't. None of that stuff is what Anastasia usually has in a palette. Like, if you compare that to Modern Renaissance, that's the complete opposite. Modern Renaissance is technically the perfect palette, I would say. So when one of the next products they came out was the Subculture palette, it was obviously really, really hyped up because it was the same formula as the Modern Renaissance palette, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, it might not have been the same formula because people were complaining about it a lot. So there's so many videos you can watch about people just bashing this palette. The number one thing was you just cannot blend it. You touched your brush in the pan and you literally hit pan right away, which is ridiculous. I don't think that's good. I do think that Norvina and the Anastasia team, I do think they changed it a little bit in their second round, but still a lot of people were not happy about this. I've heard from also a lot of people on the internet and also one of my friends that you just have to kind of know how to work with this palette. It's obviously not a typical palette that just anyone can use, but you just have to have a little bit more skill to be able to use this palette and make sure you can blend it properly and it's not patchy. So with that, there is a little bit of a learning curve, which obviously you're not always going to want for a makeup palette, because that's a little bit ridiculous. I have to relearn how to do makeup basically for one makeup palette. That is ridiculous. But if you do know your way around a few brushes, then this might be good for you. But this is, so many people love this and so many people hate it. There's really no in between. I can give you my opinion because I don't have this. If I had a chance, I would definitely get all of Anastasia's eyeshadow palettes, because after trying Modern Renaissance and hearing the response from all her other palettes, I would just want to own every single Anastasia palette. So that is all I'm going to talk about in this video. Hopefully it wasn't too long. I feel like my videos are too long sometimes. I'm like, I don't even want to finish watching them. So yeah. So that was the most recent controversial or products that have had backlash recently that I can remember. There could be so many more, but that is all that I could think of for now. Obviously I want you to make your own choices. Like, don't just listen to what I say or what someone else on the internet says. Everybody's opinion you have to take with a grain of salt, because someone could be very biased. Someone could be paid by Anastasia or Tarte or whatever the brand is, because obviously there is PR and obviously people are sponsored by these brands. So you just have to make sure that when you're making a choice to buy one of these products or not, you read a bunch of reviews on the website. Don't just listen to what beauty YouTubers have to say, because half the time they are very biased because they get sent all these products in PR, and the other half of the time they are being paid to talk highly of a product. So make sure that when you are going to buy a product, you read a million reviews before you get anything. People on Sephora.com, they're not going to be biased. They're not people who have been sponsored by Tarte or Kylie or Morphe. You're going to get the most honest reviews there. Okay, so that is all for the video. It has been a hot minute since I have posted. Let's see the last time I posted. I actually have no clue. 4 weeks ago. So yeah, a month ago. Ooh, my video with Chels got 60 views. That's fun. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Follow all my social media. Everything is under Ms. Lux. Also make sure you follow Miss Lux Cosmetics, which is my cosmetic brand, which is pretty cool. You're gonna follow Miss Lux Cosmetics on everything under Miss Lux Cosmetics. I'll leave all the links below. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you didn't, I don't really care. Is that too mean to say? No, I really don't care if you didn't like it, but if you did like it, give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. I think I already said that. So I will see you in my next video.